Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to day two of the Data Science Bootcamp. I'm Dominic Ishatengunimye, our from Data Kish, and I'm going to anchor today once more with you. I'm glad to see you online. I can see those online. I would like for you to give me comment with your best emoji on the comment section, please. Okay, I can see you guys. Please comment your state of residence for me too. Hello, Onyinyechi. Welcome. Hello, Mr. Chimdi, Christopher Stanley. It's nice to have you. Welcome, 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 welcome. So we'll kick right in straight to business. But before we do so, I hope you have liked and subscribed to our channel at this point. If you haven't, I'd like to see you do so, please. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. And if you can, share the link to this session with your friends who you think would be interested in having to understand the basic workflow of data science or would like to apply it in their lives. Thank you. So I'll go straight to sharing my screen. And today promises to be very exciting, interactive, and engaging. Oh, and there's one more information for you. There would be a Google Classroom, a link shared on the comment section for you to join, such that on the fourth day of the training, you'd all have to undergo certain, yes, thank you, Mr. Stanley, you'd have to undergo certain tasks and mini projects for us to culminate the learning process. So I'd like for you to click on the Google Classroom when you see it on the comment section and join. Thank you. Join the classroom so you can go through the mini project that will be shared. It would be a way for you to practice what you've learned through the entire process and put it into good use. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll share my screen in the next few seconds. Okay. So like I said earlier, we're going right into business. And as such, I went straight into providing a case scenario for us to practice the basic workflow of data science. So we would not have to beat about the bush anymore. So for today's case scenario, we're solving Ada Billion's cash flow mystery. So we're going to use a data understanding and cleaning adventure to go through all these exercises. So we would have messy notebooks to clear business insights at the end of the day. Once again, I am Dominic Kishatingunimi Awofon. You can call me Data Kish, and this is LogTech's online training bootcamp. So let's dive right in. So meet Ada. Ada is popularly known as Ada Billion. She's Ada Nwosu. She's an entrepreneur extraordinaire. Ada runs Ada's Value Mini Mart in Agbakpa area of Enugu City. For 3 years now, her business has thrived with sales steadily climbing. Her ambition earned her the nickname Ada Billions. And among friends and customers, this is what she's known as. But despite the busy shop and growing revenue, Ada faces a perplexing challenge. She's making sales, but the cash is not adding up. She often finds herself borrowing money sometimes to cover operational costs. And this situation contradicts her apparent success. So today's problem, as we have seen, would be knowing why Ada's is borrowing money despite a busy shop and rising sales figure. So this will be ongoing through the entire process, and it will allow us explore and display the different workflows of data science, like we had earlier discussed in the last class. So before I continue and to ascertain that you guys have been following, for those who have been following, please can anybody comment the first thing they remember for the data science workflow? I'd like to see what you recall as the first thing for the data science workflow. I'm waiting for your comments, please. Okay. So my faithful scholars are not here yet to recall what the data science workflow, the first thing on the data science workflow is. But I'll remind you nonetheless. The first thing is understanding the business problem or understanding the problem generally. If it isn't business, thank you. Understanding the problem. Thank you. Understanding the problem. So as a data scientist, that's one thing required of you. Be it any role you play, you should always understand the problem. Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you, Onyinyechi. Thank you, Good News. So now we understand Ada's problem. So let's move ahead to the next thing on our workflow. So let's talk about the problem more, by the way. So why is this happening? Why does Ada have a cash flow confusion? So number one, we will define this problem specifically. So we have to be smart about it. So the first thing we notice are stock out of popular items. She notices that they are frequently running out of high demand products and leading to loss of sales and customer frustration. That's one problem Ada has noticed. The next core problem she clearly defined for us is that she can't pay suppliers on time. Late payments strain relationships with vendors and can lead to less favorable terms or even supply disruptions. And then the very third big problem is that Ada has multiple notebooks where she records her finances, but there's no congruence in how she's keeping her records. So her financial records are scattered across various physical notebooks, making it impossible for Ada to unify her finances. So we now culminate all these problems into one statement. Why are there cash shortages despite good sales performance? So this is one big problem that we would start resolving from today's session. So going on, what do we need to do to investigate Ada's problem? What's required of us now as we've come into Ada's solution or help? So what required to unravel Ada's cash flow mystery? We need to analyze specific types of data. So for that, we advised Ada to make it easy for her that there are 3 data sets Ada needs to start keeping. There are 3 kinds of records Ada needs to start keeping. At least, for the very least, Ada needs to start keeping sales data. She needs to keep what she sold, when she sold it, how much she sold it. This will help us know Ada's revenue, how much she generates from her business. The next thing we advise Ada to go on to is to keep an expense data record. This will help us know her cash outflow. So we want Ada to know where money goes to. Where did the money go? From which suppliers, to which rent, to which salaries. So this would help us track Ada's costs and expenses. And then thirdly, we need to keep proper record of costs and pricing. This will help us know Ada's actual profits in her business. So she doesn't now see a sale record of 1.8 million, but the cash she has available in her account is like way less. So if she has proper documentation of this, it helps Ada pinpoint where exactly errors were located. Okay. So in summary, this will help us get answers to Ada's mystery and guide us towards making a clear financial picture of Ada's business. So what questions must we answer, or must our data answer? So, by the way, at this point, I'm hoping you're already getting pumped with me. To give you a quick preview of the tool you should use. I'm hoping you have your laptops with you because after this presentation, we will dive right into practical application of what we're talking about right now. And you require your laptop, you require to have installed Microsoft Office for the basics at least, because we'll make use of Microsoft Office Excel for today's session. So let me continue this with the slides. So what questions must our data answer? So our data, we are focusing our data on investigations with clear questions. So we will use our data to seek answers to specific critical inquiries. So the inquiries will be, where is the money really going each month? So with this, we will try to analyze by pinpointing exact expenditure categories and their amounts. We'll now ask the question and answer it. Which products have the best profit margin? It helps Ada to know where to invest more. We'll identify top performing items to optimize inventory and pricing for Ada's business. Ada Billion's business. She has to make these billions, by the way. So the next thing is, what items are we constantly running out of? So from our proper records and our analysis at the end of the session, we should be able to tell this, revealing critical stockout issues to improve supply chain for Ada. And then the next question we can ask is, are there recording errors hiding our true performance? Then this will help us uncover inconsistencies and mistakes that are made when recording. We can advise Ada or Ada's shop assistants on how best to enter data by seeing these inconsistencies. We can help make solutions to correct this. So ultimately, this will lead us to the creation of key financial statements for Ada, like income statements and a detailed cash flow analysis. By the way, this is where all of our work will culminate at the final days of our boot camp. We should have been able to develop a dashboard that would make this report for Ada in such a way that it looks automated. Whenever Ada enters her data, it provides this analysis for her on periodic basis. If you have any Ada in your life, another billions, I'm hoping you have shared this by now, the link to this class. So she would, of very good essence, get to understand how she can apply data science to her business. If there's anybody, be it Emeka, Uche, Amaka, Blessing, whoever you have, share this with them and let them understand how to apply data to their businesses. Thank you. So the next thing we'll move on to, after having defined our question, is familiarizing ourselves with Ada's data. So when Ada provides this data, we have advised her to collect, to familiarize ourselves with the data. So we've already stated clearly that we would understand the sales data where money is coming in, understand the expense data where money is going out, and would understand her product list data. So when we delve deep into using the spreadsheet I have shared in the description section, we would see how all this makes very big sense to us. So moving on. So when we start with the cleaning of the data, which would be what the highlight of today's session will be on, we would see how an ideal data set is supposed to be represented and how real data comes in. Ideal data sets are supposed to be perfectly structured. They have consistent formats, no errors. But in real life, it's not the case. Oftentimes, there'll be incomplete data, there'll be inconsistent errors, there'll be inconsistent entries, and there'll be errors in entries too, misspellings, there'll be duplicate entries, and all of these would be what we would have to handle in today's session. So we will talk about how to handle missing data in today's session. So missing values, as it is called, are blank cells where critical information should be. So it's always usually leading to incomplete analysis or skewed results. So to avoid that, we always have to resolve missing data. So missing data are just empty cells, cells that do not have the data they should have, that should exist. So it's sometimes like a puzzle, but the more you look at the data, the more you'll be able to tell what to do to missing data. But I would mention some of those needed solutions for missing data. So for example, Ada has a missing total sales cell where they are supposed to write the total sales she has made for a particular product, but it's missing. So how do we resolve such case? We resolve it by calculating it ourselves since we know what it's supposed to be. So if it's in a case where you cannot calculate the missing data, then you refer back to whoever entered that data to provide what is missing. So going on, the next kind of cleaning step we would take is removing the noise. When removing noise, a data scientist sees this as removing duplicates and inconsistencies in the data set. So these issues usually distort our understanding of the business. So we have to remove duplicate entries. Probably Ada's shop assistant made entries double times for one particular product she sold. So we can spot this and remove it. So it doesn't give us an inflated sales, total sales figure at the end of the day. So we would always know because in Ada's transaction data, she gave IDs to her transactions. So when we see a duplicate of this, we can easily tell that, oh, there were duplicates of the sales. And then inconsistencies could exist like date entries. This is one huge example. Maybe one of the shop assistants entered their date in this format that you can see here. Sorry about that. In this format you can see here, where the month was entered first and followed by the day and the year. And then in this other format, the year was entered first, followed by the month and the day. So we have to make this consistent. It's your work as a data scientist, the data analyst, to make consistent of the data set you're provided with. So there'll be examples where there'll be spelling errors, where beverages was entered and there's one other beverage that was entered with an extra space. Something as little as that has already caused an inconsistency in your data set. We'll resolve all of that. And then there'll be situations where we need to standardize the format of spellings like we have stated. So moving on. At the core of our task today, these are the different things we would handle. First thing we will do that we have done in a way is understanding Ada's problem. We know what Ada's problem is. So can I see in the comment section what Ada's problem is from your understanding so far? Please tell me what Ada's problem, business problem is, please. For those who have been with us from the start, can you comment what Ada's business problem is? Okay, I'm waiting for your comment. What can you recall about Ada's business problem? Okay, I'm still waiting for your comment. Okay, stock out of popular items. Yes, thank you, Onyinyechi. Thank you very much. So that's one very huge problem we have to resolve for Ada. So let's keep going already. So the next thing we will do, thank you very much. She can't pay suppliers on time. So now I'm very glad we recall what the problems are. Cash flow confusion. Thank you, Stanley. So now we understand Ada's problem. We would explore her data set. By the way, we were the ones who suggested Ada collects proper data for her business. Ada has multiple notebooks. I don't know why Ada does that. But thank you, Nyuchi. We will resolve that. So we resolved that by advising Ada to have structured data that we talked about yesterday. Lack of record. Thank you, Mustafa. So Ada has data sets that she has taken our advice, she heeded to our advice, and now she keeps her records with Microsoft Excel. So we would explore these data sets Ada has kept. By the way, I've provided this data set in the description section. So do well to go right now and try to make downloads of these data sets because we're going to use them in a very few minutes to practice what we've talked about. Thank you. So the next thing after exploring our data set is to clean our data set. So we've talked rather about how to clean, and we'll learn about how to clean properly. That would like to copy notes. Thank you. So we'll learn the cleaning methods with Microsoft Excel into this class. It will be a hands-on practice, and it will help us solve the mystery of Ada's business, Ada Billion's business problem. So we'll be going on a short break now. We're going on a short break. In a very just 1 to 2 minutes time, I'll return. But by this time, I'm hoping. Oh, before we go on the short break, I think this is wise. I show you how to get through with downloading it. For those who may have issues with downloading the data set. So I would show you how to do so. So you'd use the break period to download the data set and open it up and get ready for us as we practice and dive deep into data cleaning with Microsoft Excel. So I'll be sharing my screen to show you how you can download the data sets. So here goes. So when you click on the link, it takes you to the drive with the data set, and all you have to do is click on the data set or click on the options and click on the download option, and immediately you start seeing the download in your download history. So this has been done already, and I would like for everybody to do that already and get ready for us to start practicing. Thank you. So in very few minutes time, we'll put to practice all we've talked about in data cleaning. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back, and I'm glad to still see you guys live and pumped to join us for the rest of the class. Oh, what did you not get, Mr. Stanley? But for the meantime, I'm hoping we must have all gotten to download our data sets. If you have, please, I would like to see thumbs up on the comment section. If you've downloaded the data set, please. I'd like to see your thumbs up on the comment section. Okay, thank you, Nyinyechi. Yes, there is. On the comments, on the description section, there's a link to the data set. Check the description section for this live stream, the YouTube description section. Yes. Check the description section and you see a link to the data set. Okay. So I will just dive right in and share my screen for the data sets that had been downloaded. Okay. The first data set downloaded. Let me do that already. For the first data set downloaded. Okay, here goes. So this is the first data set downloaded, and when you make downloads of files from the internet, oftentimes Microsoft Excel puts it in protected view. So I'm hoping at this point we may know what to do. We click to enable editing, so it allows us to manipulate the files we have downloaded. So this is the first file I downloaded, and this is Ada sales data. So I'm assuming there's a possibility somebody may not have navigated the Microsoft Excel interface before. So if there's that case, I'll just dedicate the next 3 minutes to give an intro of Microsoft Excel interface. By the way, if you want a full rundown, dedicated tutorials and tutelage on how to use Microsoft Excel for data analysis, you should go run straight to Logtech's website and click to see how you can get started. Click to see how you can enroll and learn in full scale how to carry out your data analysis with Microsoft Excel. You would love the package, by the way. For this class, we may not go as deep and detailed as you may require, but we would make sure to use this to the level where you can apply in practice. So let's continue already. So as you can see, we advised Ada to record everything she did in her business, especially what we can see now, her sales. So for every column you see, Ada had to document something called transaction. If I double click here, it expands the column. She had to document her transactions with the transaction ID. She had to document the date she made her transaction. Oh, and we can already see some inconsistencies where some dates are entered with hyphen and some are entered with slashes. So already see this is where we would need to clean Ada's data. And we can see where she entered the products category. Oh, and by the way, for me to expand these columns, all I have to do is come to the border of that column and double click with my mouse and it expands it. So I do that, it expands. There are shortcuts, by the way. I could highlight the columns I want to auto fit and use a shortcut like alternate H, O, I, and it does that automatically. I may not be able to give you every single shortcut in detail for these sessions, but you could get all of these when you go through our course. But for the most, like I keep saying, I will give you what's very relevant for us to carry out the practice this bootcamp will provide. Okay, so we can see Ada records the quantity she makes sales of, the unit price, the total sales, and we can see situations where there were no records. It probably was not Ada, it was one of her sales assistants, maybe Uche, maybe Ugonna, maybe whoever it was. And we see there's also a record of the payment method used in the mini-mat. So this is for the sales data. We would come back to it. So let's go and look at the other two data sets. I'll stop sharing my screen and flip over to the other two data sets. So here goes the next. So I'm hoping you can see what I'm sharing. You can't see what I'm sharing yet. Oh, let me resolve that. Let me resolve that. Okay. Please, can you see what I'm sharing? Okay, thank you. Let me make it wider. So this is the inventory data set. So like I said earlier, when you make a download of a file from the internet for Microsoft Office Suite, usually it protects said file and you'd have to enable editing. So always remember to click on enable editing so it allows you to manipulate the file. I'm hoping you can still see the screen I'm sharing. Oh, if you can't see, let me resolve that. So here goes. Okay. Please comment if you can see what's being shared. Oh, okay. Thank you. So let's continue already. Let's delve deep. So for Ada's inventory data, so what we required of Ada was to document about the products she sells in particular. So for everything she buys to sell, she should document it. So she buys bottled water to sell, she should document it. And these were the information she kept about, this was the information she kept about her products. So this is her inventory in summary. So she kept So I would expand this like I had said earlier, double click, it expands, double click, it expands, double click, it expands, or you highlight in total, Control A, Control alternate HOI. We will learn all of these tricks all together. Alternate HOI when in the full classroom. But for the purpose of this boot camp and for the purpose of time, I may not go in details into relaying all the shortcuts you need to know. Okay, so we can see the data that has kept. And when we start cleaning proper, we'll see what we have to do about making sure this data is clean before we move on to the next section of analyzing the data set. So for today, we will go through these three data sets and clean it to get it ready for exploration and analysis. So we can see what she has, her current stock, her reorder level, unit cost, selling price. We can see all this. So I would stop sharing my screen for this inventory data set. So we would look at the last data set. So the last data set is Ada's expense data set. I'll be sharing my screen so you can see that too. So here goes. Ada's expense data set. Okay. Please notify if you can see my screen. If you can't, okay, thank you. So I would enable editing like we had done in the last two cases. And then we would look at the data set. Okay, I'm noticing it has gone off. So let me share my screen once more. Okay. Here goes. Okay. Please notify me if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you very much. So this is Ada's expense data set. So Ada doesn't always know why sometimes she's out of cash for certain suppliers. So this expense data set, sometimes she doesn't even know what she has spent money on. But because we've made Ada to start collecting data in this regard, this what would help us guide in knowing how Ada's money leaves her business. So Ada spends money on several things. These are the categories of items she spends money on. Oh, if you can notice there's a missing data, we will resolve this in due time. Don't you worry. So we see Ada's vendor and the item she spends her money on. We see the amount she spends, we see the payment method, and we see the date. And of course, we asked her to keep a tracking ID for every expense she makes. So it helps us know unique expenses that she makes in her business. So this is nice already. So I'm hoping you're pumped already as we will put into practice our cleaning methods. Okay, if you are, I'd like to see your favorite emoji in the chat, please. And I would like to see that you have liked this video by this time and subscribed to our channel as well. Thank you. So I've stopped sharing the screen because I want to give quick preview of the Microsoft Excel interface. I would like to see your emojis once more, please. Okay. Wow, thank you, Onyinyechi. Thank you, Vivid Creation. Thank you very much. Oh, purple rose. Okay, so let's go right in already. So I would share a blank Excel sheet. So for you to get a blank Excel sheet, by the way, if this is your first time with Microsoft Excel, I would share how you can get a blank Microsoft Excel sheet. If it isn't, please just bear with us. For those who haven't navigated this interface before, I felt the need for us to just bring them to speed with us. So I would be sharing my screen once more and showing you how you can get that. From whichever sheet you already have opened, I will just open one of the sheets to give a case scenario. So I will open one of the sheets to give a case scenario. Tell me when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please? Can you see the sheet, the Excel sheet, please? Thank you. Okay. So now, from a sheet you have opened, if you intend to create a blank Excel sheet, all you have to do, there are two ways to do that. Either you use the shortcut Control N or Control and letter N, Control plus letter N, or you go to the File section. If you notice, Excel has several tabs open. This is very synonymous to all of Microsoft Office tools. It's native to Microsoft Office tools to notice these different tabs. If you see there's a File tab, the Home tab, which is the current tab that is open, and for this version of Excel in use, there's a WPS PDF tab. This may not be in every Microsoft Excel Office package, but there will be an Insert tab, a Draw, and all of this tab. So go to your Files tab, and you would see the option to pick a blank workbook. By the way, there are more other workbooks Excel has provided as templates. We will not go deep into talking about them. But like I said, for us to look deep into Excel, and if you intend to look deep into Excel, you can subscribe to our full data analysis with Excel package, and you will go through all of these things needed. So you can see where there are demo templates in Excel, and you would learn how to create all of these templates, how this was being done. So this can be used for several purposes. You see, there's even a basic balance sheet template. We would see how at the end of the day, our template that we would work with would end up looking somewhat close to this. So back to what I was saying. If you need a blank workbook, all you have to do is click on New or click on the option right in front of you for the blank workbook. And a blank workbook is being opened for you to make use of. So, if you're to recall anything about Excel, it's the fact that it is a spreadsheet tool. And as such, it is meant to collect data in sheet format, in structured format. Excel was created as far back as 1985. It was created to be used in the Apple Macintosh operating system. So from then, Excel has been saving lives. Excel has been helping people resolve business problems. Excel has been doing a lot of things. There's a whole lot of features Excel has that I'm very sure a number of people have no idea about. And if you still want to know more about Excel, like I've been preaching since, make sure to click on our official website, LogTech's official website, and see how you can get enrolled for the full data science with Excel package. Okay, so back to talking about the Excel interface. So when you have your Excel interface open, you will notice these boxes. Each of these boxes in this structured sheet are called cells. So each of these cells have addresses. When I click on a cell, you notice over at this section, there's a description written, D3. That's the cell address. It's indicating which column it falls under and which row that particular cell falls under. So you should remember this. Every cell in your spreadsheet has a cell address. This comes in very handy as we manipulate our data for cleaning today. The next thing you should remember is it's simple to start using Excel. If you don't know what to use Excel for, just think of it as a register for record keeping. So like Ada Billion's register for record keeping, all she had to do was create columns to collect data. The first thing she thought of was, oh, let me create an ID column. She called it ID. She moved to the next column. She called the next column date. So as simple as this, I've already started using the Excel interface. I'm hoping you can see my screen at this point. If you can't see, please indicate. Oh, okay, you can. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll continue. So I'll move as fast as possible because we need to do what's meant for today. So with this, I'm hoping this is a good introduction. Excel has a lot of packages where you can carry out calculation in each cell. Each cell serves as a calculator. But for me to do that, I have to start whatever I'm typing with equal to. Whenever I click on equal to in any cell in Excel, It means I'm telling it to turn on the calculation feature. So if I click equal to and type in any arithmetic, probably 3,500 plus 2,750. I'm hoping you can see me. You can see my screen. Okay. Oh, you can't see what I'm sharing. Oh, wow. I am sorry about that. Let me share the right screen. My apologies for that. Let me share the right screen. Okay, here goes. Okay. Please indicate when you. Thank you. So I'll repeat what I said. So this is when we started thinking of collecting data for Ada's business, where all we had to do was to type in each cell. And we already naturally know that each column should indicate entry based on what the column title is. So we can say her first sale, we call it sale number 1, 001, or the time she has made that sale. We can call it the date. We can say she made the sale on the 23rd of. This is how we enter dates in Nigeria, by the way. But we now notice that Excel natural date format isn't in this format, even though we enter dates in this format. 23rd of January, or today's date will be best. 1st of January, 6th of January. This is how we enter dates in Nigeria. But this isn't the format for entering dates for the producers of Microsoft Excel, which we know it's an American product. And if you notice in your Microsoft Windows, you notice the date format is different from how we write our dates in classrooms in our different usage. The formats used by these products are months first, days next. So this is one other thing we would need to have put Ada's sales assistants through. And this is one other thing we would correct when cleaning the data set. So we could enter that as first 6th, that's January 6th, 2025. Ada's first product she sold was, she probably sold notebooks because she likes notes a lot. And then she sold them. We will now have a new column for price. And by the way, you're already using Microsoft Excel to keep records. So over time, your speed increases with entry, and over time, your entry accuracy gets better. But this is the best way to keep your records. So let's move right fast already. Like I was trying to bring you on speed with one of the basic features of Excel that I mentioned earlier, that every cell in Excel serves as a calculator. I can easily just make calculations in Excel by starting with equal to. Whenever I use the syntax with equal to, it has already notified the program, the machine, that I intend to carry out a calculation. So once I type in any mathematical operation, it solves it for us. And I click on enter, it gives us the result, you see. Over here, you can see your entry, and in the cell for display, you can see the result. We could do additions, subtractions, multiplication, divisions, exponentiations. We could do now the thought of how to even make it easier for us. They introduce functions for Excel, and we will make use of functions today. So if you notice, all I have to do now is equal to and recall a function. A function makes my calculation faster. Let's say I intend to add series of numbers that are in other cells. I can even do calculations with cells. I have data in this cell, 590. Or let's say, let me make it relatable. Quantity, price. So Ada sold her notebooks. Unit price for the notebook is what she knows. And she wants to use Excel to make the calculation. She doesn't have to do it herself. So she would enter the unit price of her notebook. Each notebook costs probably 600 naira. And she sold 5 notebooks. So she needs to get the total sale now. For her to get the total sale, she doesn't have to do this manually. Excel does this for her. She would be doing this equal to multiplying 600 by 5, and it gives her the total sales. But for her to automate this, she doesn't necessarily have to write the figures. She could use cell references that I had mentioned earlier. She could reference the cells where these figures are entered. She could reference this cell D2. See, by clicking, the machine helps me type the cell reference already. This is where the price is, and then times, asterisk is for times, and then the cell where the quantity is, and enter, and it does this automatically, gives us the total sale. So if Ada has another sale down here, like for 400 naira, and maybe she sold 3 items, she doesn't even need, she doesn't need to type out the formula anymore. Excel has an autofill feature where you hover over to the lower part of a cell. If you notice, my icon becomes a black cross. When it becomes a black cross, it means the autofill feature has been enabled. All I have to do to put it into action is left click and drag down. And then it replicates same feature for us. So we will use all of these, and there's no time for us to waste anymore. Let's delve right in and apply our cleaning already. So I'll share the first data set and we'll start cleaning. Okay, so here goes. Tell me when you can see my screen, please. Okay, I would stop sharing this. Okay. A moment, please. Okay. Okay, here goes. Please indicate if you can see the sales data set being shared. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's dive right into cleaning. Let's dive right into cleaning. So the very first thing we do when we intend to clean, can somebody comment on this comment section what you recall that we do first? What's the first thing we do into cleaning? We look at our data set and understand it. These are the different columns of our data set. So the first thing we do is to look for empty cells. How do I even know my data set has empty cells? In this case, our data set is not so large. It's easy for us to just scroll through and pinpoint the empty cell. But to make it faster and easier for us, we could use an Excel feature called count blank to find this out. So I can come to the end of my data set and use a function called count blank, and then put a range for where I want it to start checking for missing cells. So for this particular column, the data starts from cell A2 to cell A102. I close that and it counts the blank cells for us. Oh, we now notice, oh, there are no blank cells. We drag these across the different columns and it replicates the feature. Oh, we now notice, oh, there are blank cells here, there are blank cells here. So what do? Let's resolve these empty cells. So let's resolve these empty entries. So we notice there's an empty entry here for sponge. So what is supposed to be there? It's supposed to be the product category. Now you're thinking like a data scientist. So what product category does sponge fall under? There are several ways to resolve this. If Ada was right next to us, we would ask Ada, what product category does this belong to? But if she's not, we can use our data to find it out. So how do we use our data to find it out? The first thing is to now put our data in a format where we can see related entries. How do we put our data in that format where we can see related entries? We'll use the Excel feature called filter. It helps us to see unique entries such that we can see related entries too. So I'll highlight my entire data, Control A. It highlights the entire data, and then I'll use the filter feature up here. Come to the filter feature and click on filter. In simple terms, all it has done is include a drop down that filters out unique entries in our data. Are you noticing unique entries? See, we have beverages, for the product name, snacks, blanks. So now what I want to do is to come to this product name and filter out our sponge to see if there was another case for sponge. So I would turn it off from selecting all and select just our sponge. Okay. So now you see where we have our sponge entered, and we see that the sponge was entered as household. So we know that for this empty cell, all we have to do is replicate the same product category. So I'll copy, Control C, and paste. Or you could click on the cell, right click on it and use the copy option. Right click on where you intend to paste and paste. So I usually prefer pasting the values so it doesn't alter the formatting of the data set. So now we can turn off this filter to see the entire data set. If you're with me up to this point, I'd like to see you in the comment section with your favorite emoji, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's continue already. So the next thing we'll do now is to resolve the empty cells for our total sales. So one way to resolve that is to use the automatic Excel calculator feature. So you can easily create your own column, call your own column, cleaned, maybe CL, total sales. Since you already know how she got her total sales, it's by multiplying the quantity and the sales. So you do not have to come here and start multiplying 10 times 200 and then go down to multiply. Who knows what we can use to make this easier for us? Who remembers what we can use to make this easier for us? Please drop in the comment section what feature we can use to make it easy for us. Okay. I'm yet to see a response, but there's no time to wait, so I'll remind you. We would use the cell address feature. So I'll use equal to, and then I'll click on the cell I intend to make operations with, and it types out the address for me. If you do not want to do that, you could type out the address yourself. The unit price is at F2, so I'll type it out, F2, and you see how it highlights the address for you, and you enter. When you do that, it gives you the operation, and then you can come to your autofill, double click on it, and then it replicates the feature across the entire data set. So everyone, oh, okay, I'm hoping everyone, we would stop here. Oh, can I zoom my screen a little bit? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let me zoom in for that feature. I'm hoping you can see this. So this was when we were trying to use the cell address feature, E2 times F2. And when I was done, we clicked on equal enter, and it gave us a calculation. And when it was done for one cell, let me zoom in once more. When it was done for one cell, all we had to do to replicate the same feature is to come under to the autofill feature and double click on it, and it replicates it across. It gave us the total cell. So we can see that for this case where there's a missing data, we have what we need. We have the total sale value. And it would even help us know if the calculations she made here were accurate. They made here were accurate depending on whoever entered the data. So we have touched one of the core practices for data entry. And in the next class, we would finish for data cleaning. In the next class, we would finish up the data cleaning and enter data manipulation and probably start our data analysis to provide Ada Billion's financial statement. If you've been with me up to this point and you've enjoyed the class, please, I would like for you to give me your thumbs up, your favorite emoji, and of course a like if you haven't liked this video by now, this session by now. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you so much for being with me to the end of this session. I would love to see you here again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is the end, everyone. See you tomorrow.